Hey guys, Fight Kitties here. I'm Lady J.
And I'm Lexy, and it's time for Kickass and Coffee.
We have a lot of news to cover, and it's always exciting, and it's always a little bit crazy around here.
Yes, it sure is. So let's get ready for some Fight Buzz. So, starting with Fight Buzz, we have the final nail is in the coffin for the Black and Gold brand. All of Hunter's soldiers have now been sacrificed for the new WWE NXT 2.0.
My daddy's gone, and now they're taking over.
WWE is making some shocking cuts. The most notable wrestlers released from the company on Wednesday were William Regal.
And like Ryan's talent and like scouting.
It's crazy. And Road Dogg.
Dude, like the vets are like gone.
Yeah.
So both of these guys are long time. They were pro wrestlers who've been working behind the scenes at WWE's developmental talent scouting promotions for NXT. But with the like evolution of NXT 2.0, they've been like cutting off all the old staff at the Performance Center. So WWE had to put a statement together because this is a drama. We thank them for their many contributions throughout the years, blah, 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 corporate, thank you.
Trying to keep it short and sweet. But so it seems like NXT is definitely bringing a new division for 2.0, and I'm kind of excited to see who they bring on.
Okay, maybe.
Maybe it'll be a good change of pace, Got to look at it in the positive light. So another shocking news is that we have WWE wanted Fox to buy their entire brand. So WWE announced a partnership with Fox that we're aware of. So the $1 billion deal with SmackDown, meaning that it would air on Fox. So they had that deal, but according to Freddie Prinze Jr., WWE wanted them to take a bigger portion of the company, actually.
Are they trying to get rid of all their stuff?
I don't know, maybe.
Or just like take the money and run? I don't know. So Freddie Prinze Jr. had this podcast, and he was talking about like the previous executive told him they wanted us to buy the whole brand, but the number was like no one was even looking at it. They're like, yeah, we'll license SmackDown, but
that's about it.
Yeah, the networks are like, no, thank you.
But most networks are willing to pay like really big rates for rights to broadcast things like SmackDown or any wrestling program because it's, it attracts a lot of viewers and they know that.
Still, WWE has a lot of viewers, even they've been around for.
Yeah. According to Freddie Prinze Jr., WWE actually attempted to put an enticing package together for Fox, but the numbers just didn't add up and they were unamused, so
Moving on. And moving on.
We have Tony Khan again. He's been super vocal this week.
He's like, how does he have time to like run all these businesses and
Twitter? There must be someone tweeting for him. So while he was speaking to Josh Martinez of Z100, AEW president Tony Khan stated that he feels Jade Cargill is probably the most dominant run, in his opinion, of any wrestler in North America on television since Bill Goldberg 25 years ago.
And he's still freaking dominating, coming back. We're like, once you retire. So Jade is now following in his steps as an unstoppable force.
Yes.
That girl is like, strong.
No joke.
Dude, she like took it out with Shaq against Red Velvet and Cody Rhodes. And then last night, if you weren't watching AEW Dynamite, you have to watch this match. Jade Cargill faced Ruby Soho in the final match for the TBS Women's Championship.
And then Thunder Rosa tried to interfere, but Mercedes Martinez squashed that really quick before she even made it to the ring. Ruby has a fighting spirit and a strong shotgun drop kick from the top rope that smashed Cargill, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. And Jade ends it with Ruby with her jaded finisher. And making Cargill the first TBS champion crowned on AEW Dynamite.
That girl is strong.
She is.
Can you imagine her and Raquel Gonzalez?
Oh my goodness.
Two big girls. Okay, anyways. And then we also saw Hangman Adam Page retain his AEW World Championship over the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
A huge buckshot lariat finishes off Danielson. But, I mean, we
can't give too much away. I'll let Lady J tell you guys on her AEW recap.
Yes.
So now time for the morning jab. So for today's morning jab, we're going to be going over Renee Paquette's Oral Session podcast. Now, on one of her latest episodes, she gave her opinion on WWE Day One, specifically about Brock Lesnar winning the title. I think it was, but here's what she had to say. The thing is, Brock doesn't need it. Brock is the kind of athlete or wrestler that does not need a title. He doesn't need a title to be drawn because Brock is Brock. He's got attention no matter what. But this is like sort of Brock, like he's a babyface Brock Lesnar.
When did Brock become a babyface?
Apparently his ponytail, overalls, and plaid shirts is what led him to
Farmer
be
Brock.
So she says there's just something about it. I don't know. It just, she sees it as a character evolution of Brock Lesnar. So I don't know. I guess I kind of...
Happy Brock?
Happy Brock.
That would be weird.
I do love Bobby Lashley, and I was rooting for him a little bit.
I totally harassed him I saw him once at the store, and I was like, Bobby Lashley, he totally killed him last night. And he was really cool.
That's so cool.
Okay, so we're gonna see Bobby Lashley again.
Yes, we sure are, for the Royal Rumble, which is setting up a first ever dream singles match.
Two big MMA legends. Yes. The Royal Rumble.
Yes, I'm excited. So now for some fluffy news. We saw Snooki and JWoww of MTV Jersey Shore bringing their kids to Wednesday's AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, you should too.
Yeah, you should. It was super casual. It was actually in the Prudential Center in New Jersey, so it makes sense while they were there.
Yeah. Backyard. So JWoww, she's partnered with Culture City to make these sensory rooms in like loud public places like arenas for kids with like, autism or like sensory sensitivities.
Mm-hmm.
So there's actually her son, the Grayson Matthews sensory room named after him at the Barclays Center.
That's so sweet.
Thank you. Yeah.
I love that. AEW senior producer Jess Palumbo shared a Instagram photo with Snooki and JWoww. So
they were totally there.
Yeah.
People saw them in the front row
totally
and then up in the back later.
Yeah, and they were even on like TV at one point, so kind of cool.
Okay, but why were they there other than like enjoying the wrestling? Her man, like JWoww's fiance, is what's his name again?
His name is Zach Clayton.
He's been taking a beat down on the dark matches, though.
Yeah, he did actually appear on MTV's Jersey Shore. When I saw his face, I'm like, I recognize him from somewhere. I've been a big-time Jersey Shore fan. But in his first AEW match on Dark in June of 2020, he lost to QT Marshall. Since then, he has competed in 7 more Dark and Elevation matches, all of which he has lost.
I think he's just buying his time, paying his dues.
Yeah, we'll give him some time. It takes a while to get pro. And Tony Khan teased...
Tony Khan again.
Again, he teased a dream signing. So he said he's got currently somebody in North America who will be joining AEW pretty soon.
So my Japanese dreams are ruined.
In a new interview with Joshua Martinez and Z100, Khan was asked of his dream signing, and that he said that there is one that is confirmed, but he can't say who it is. He just said that they're in North America.
I had this weird fantasy that would be Okada because he recently called out CM Punk, but I'm like, is he in Japan? Is he in North America? He's in Japan. He just did freaking Wrestle Kingdom. Like, unless he just came back.
Maybe.
We'll see.
We'll see. That'll be exciting. Now for Keeping It Strong style.
As we're talking about Japanese wrestling. So Katsuyori Shibata, he spoke about his wrestling, moving away from the fundamentals. He recently spoke with Sports Illustrated, and back in 2017, Shibata was forced to retire early because he suffered this subdermal hematoma during a match against Kazuchika Okada.
That's like internal bleeding. That's some serious stuff.
Yeah, going to retirement's a big deal for the Japanese wrestlers.
On the final night of the G1 Climax 31, he took part of a 5-minute exhibition against Zack Sabre Jr. in October of 2021. During an interview with Sports Illustrated, he discussed how LA Dojo actually helped him stay strong.
So if he had not been injured, the LA Dojo would not even exist.
Mm-mm.
He's like, I was not able to even have a match, but he's like, but I was wrestling in spirit with all the LA Dojo boys. I like the Dojo boys.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Shibata also discussed how he believes modern wrestling has moved away from the fundamentals.
Yeah, and he's observed that like today's wrestling is very like big and flashy, but I do, and I feel like with an interview, I could be mistaken that we like reviewed a few weeks ago. Tetsuya Naito actually said the exact same thing, that it was too flashy. And I mean, I enjoy watching it, and clearly other people do. So it's just they're steering away from their fundamentals. And he says the fundamentals and the foundation of what New Japan is all about, and that is what he's just trying to constantly strive to improve. But come on, we like change here.
Okay, so Ren Narita was his opponent, and Narita left Japan in 2019 because he really he demanded to train under Shibata. And I mean, I guess if Ren Narita, who's working his way up the ranks real quick, wants to go work with Shibata, then maybe he's doing something right.
Yeah, but that quickly backfired when Shibata and Narita went against each other, and there was just flurry kicks. They were being like pushed around, and there was even a massive PK that Shibata gave.
He was the mystery opponent during Wrestle Kingdom. It's like, ooh, the teacher versus the student. Dang.
Is that it?
Wait, how is I still have coffee?
I do.
Well, thanks for joining us, you guys. I hope you had fun.
And please take a moment to just leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, and for some more Fight Kitties content, click the link down below. Until next time, I'm Lexi.
And I'm Lady J.
Bye.
Bye, guys.